It's Themistode, FightHype.com. Hey, with Uncle Dre, Andre Rozier. How you feeling today, man?
Oh man, nephew. It was a whirlwind week. We we hosted the National Junior Golden Gloves down in Florida at the Caribe Royale in Orlando. We had nearly 600 kids in the tournament. 3 rings going all the way to the finals. We gave out belts to all the little champs, and it was wonderful getting back on track into that zone that started me out as a trainer.
That's awesome, man. Is it doing stuff like that as a little bit more, I don't know, rewarding, more fun than working with the pros, man?
Well, you know what? The kids appreciate it more. They really do. Pro guys, once in a blue. I've been fortunate enough though to have had some really fantastic professional fighters working with me, so they make me feel that way. But it's really rewarding and exciting to see the young future world champions applying their skills and honoring their technique and capabilities, and I'm hoping to continue that.
Gotcha. Speaking of people that you've worked with, you got Demetrius Andrade. That's somebody that you know in a long time, somebody you've worked closely with. He's supposed to be fighting David Benavidez sometime in fall, winter, about November-ish. What do you think about that fight, man?
It's a super fight. We need it. It's just going to help boxing, and I'm loving it. I mean, I'm loving it big time. Of course, needless to say, I'm with my nephew 1,000,000%. We're gonna work and get ready for it and take care of business and do everything possible for Boo Boo to be that superstar that he is.
In the past, you've told me that you think Benavidez is pretty much the best guy at 168, not including Andrade, of course. But what is it about David that makes you say that Demetrius has what it takes to beat him, man?
Well, when we started assessing the who, what, where, whys, and whens of who might actually meet in the ring and represent, Boo Boo has a talent factor that is very, very unique, very, very unorthodox. His movement is uncanny. His speed is obnoxious. It's just a lot of fantastic variables going on, and he puts them together, and that's why he's been a world champion in several divisions. And this fight is going to be, quote unquote, his breakout on the 168-pound weight class, and people are going to see some things that they didn't expect to happen.
When you look at Caleb Plant, I spoke to David this past weekend, and he was just like, he was excited to be fighting Demetrius, and he was just like, a lot of the things that Demetrius does, Caleb Plant does as well. And he also said that he believed that the fight will go a little bit like that, and pretty much in the second half and at the midway point, he's gonna kind of take over. What do you kind of have to do in order for Demetrius not to fall trap to the avalanche that is David Benavidez, man?
Well, usually heat will stop an avalanche. Heat will stop it, and he's gonna be presented with lots of speed. And we all know speed becomes friction. Friction becomes heat. Heat becomes the thing that burns you. And that's what's going to take place in the ring.
Do you see it going all 12, or do you think Demetrius has the sort of power that can actually stop David? This is only his second fight at super middleweight.
Well, I'm not looking for him to look for a stoppage. I'm looking for Boo Boo to do what he does best: control the environment, fast hands, slick moves, uncanny timing. These things are all going to come into play, and this is the one that we've all been waiting for.
Does it kind of feel like it's now or never? He's 35. He's always been calling out Canelo, Charlo, all of the big names, Munguia. Never got any of those guys. Triple G. Does it feel like, look, man, we can't lose this fight. It's now or never.
You're absolutely correct, nephew. You're absolutely correct. We can't step back. We can't fall off the line. This is his moment to shine. There's a reason why none of those guys got in the ring with him. There's a reason. If it was anything other than, they would have been trying to fight him. But there's a reason, and they're going to find out when this fight takes place.
At 35, do you feel that Demetrius is the same fighter? Do you feel like he's maybe trying to... Is he as fast as he used to be? Is the footwork as sharp? Is he as strong, as powerful? He's fighting at 68, like we said. He did look good against Demond Nicholson, dropped him a few times in January. Do you feel that 168 is the optimal weight class for Demetrius right now?
Well, Demetrius is a big man also. He's not 5'8". He's tall. He's long. He's lanky. He's very, very fluid. This is going to be where he shows the world what Andrade is all about. Boo Boo will be the world will be talking about Boo Boo after this fight.
Would love to get your thoughts on Gary Antoine Russell. Looked spectacular.
Let me tell you something. All my nephews, and you know I have a lot.
A ton.
Antoine put on a show, and the funny thing is, when I saw Gary, I said, "Nephew, come on over here, talk to me for a minute." He said, "What's happening, Uncle?" I said, "What's gonna go on tonight?" He said, "Listen, we not playing. He's gonna be out of here in between 1 and 3." So I said, "I would like that because I want to go get something to eat." He said, "Don't worry about it, Uncle. You'll be eating before you know it." I was eating before I knew it. That was a cold, crushing, just brutal assessment. He went out there, and Antoine took care of that business. He shined like a light. Couldn't be more prouder. Couldn't have been.
140, it's pretty stacked up there, man. You have Subriel Matias, you have Regis Prograis, you have Teofimo Lopez, man. Where does Gary stack up against those guys?
Gary is right there in the mix. Gary is, as all the Russell brothers are, of a pedigree of boxing that is second to none. They're like the first family when it comes to this thing. And he's right there. He's right there. His time is coming. His time is coming. Before you know it, you're going to see what it is about Antoine that is very special.
Subriel Matias, he was there mostly to support Emmanuel Rodriguez in that first, in the main event. But he was paying close attention to Gary. They are in the same weight class. He holds the IBF title. Something like that could happen. If it does, how do you think it plays out? They both get nothing but knockouts, man.
Which is true. But the difference is, one is my nephew. Antoine will be victorious. He will be super successful in that fight. And I can't wait. The coronation is soon to come.
Is it a fight where you could see Gary actually stopping Subriel, or would you rather see Gary kind of stay on the outside, try to use his legs and box?
Well, since everyone thinks he's just a knockout artist, I'd like to see him show his wares. But we don't get paid for overtime. So if he gets him in trouble and gets him out of there, I couldn't be more proud if he did.
Who do you think will be a more difficult fight for him, Matias or Regis Prograis?
It's almost like apples and oranges. Antoine knows what he has to do, and Gary will formulate a plan as the Russell brothers do, and he'll be successful either way he goes.
You look at Regis and you look at Matias, both guys are knockout punchers, but we do have probably the guy at 140 and Teofimo Lopez, who does hit very hard, but he's a great boxer. Is he the kind of guy where you're just like, that's going to be the most difficult fight for Antoine?
That will be a very, very intriguing fight for Antoine. Skills pay the bills, and both these young men, they're both very young. They have the skill set to represent and put on a performance like no other. tactical, articulate, sharp, big punchers. I'd love to see it. I can't wait. It's almost mouth-watering thinking about these guys getting in the ring. So let's hope that there's no roadblocks, because you know boxing, it's like a construction site of situations, and there's roadblocks everywhere. But let's hope it doesn't happen, and we get that, and we can go on and enjoy it.